Now that I've had a little bit to kind of calm down and really, really get my thoughts together on the latest reality sucks I've done, I decided I was going to do. Wow, this is my very first follow-up video. Because I've never had a reason to really explain myself. And as I'm filming this, I have just watched the raw footage. It hasn't been pieced together yet. Dog hasn't had a chance to see it yet, but I've had a chance to watch the whole thing again. And I realized I missed a lot that I hadn't talked about before. And look, I'm drinking beer while I'm trying to explain this, so you'll have to forgive me if I get a little weird. But with I Want to Marry Harry, God, I just love saying that, don't you? It just rolls right off your tongue. One of the questions I forgot to ask was the question that I asked for all the reality shows. And again, if you like these kind of shows, really, what is wrong with you? There's no other way I can describe that. It's, you know, I say it when people say I watch Duck Dynasty, and I don't look at. I've never once looked at them and said, like, well, what is wrong with you? Why the hell would you even bother with that show? Or, you know, people with Teen Mom. I watched my Teen Mom video, and I think I threw out a little jab, like, you can tell this is for a specific audience or whatever, because they have to have their name under everything. That way they might get lost about who's who. You know, that was just a joking jab, you know, at people who watch Teen Mom. It might be my whole process of I hadn't seen it since the beginning, and people have said that to me all the time. My Duck Dynasty video, everybody said, well, that was a bad episode, or Teen Mom, you have to watch it from the beginning in order to really understand it, and I don't think I do. But really, when it comes down to I Want to Marry Harry, I'm pretty sure everything that I said, I meant. This is the most atrocious, just malicious, mean-spirited, vacuous excuse for entertainment I've ever seen in my life. And I don't know why they keep making this stuff, because Joe Millionaire, when it first came out, people were literally pissed at what they were doing. And it's not the first time they've done it, and it's not the last time they've done it, because I forgot about other ones they did. There was a show on Spike, pardon me, called The Joe Schmo Show. Say that 3 times fast. But they did this fake reality show where everybody else was in on the joke except for one guy. And then they did a sequel to that where they did, like, other people weren't sure what was going on. They did other and really, it comes down to the same thing I have said since I started doing this. I have asked one simple question for every single reality show I have ever watched. And the question is this: why? Why are we doing this? If you're a TV executive and they're pitching you this idea that they're going to dress up this guy that looks like Prince Harry and parade him around 12 women and blatantly lie to them about who he is, so they will believe that they are actually marrying a prince, only to, at the very end of the show, when he's finally chosen someone, reveal himself to not be Prince Harry, to see if Their relationship that has built over this 12-week period is strong enough to endure such a lie, such a betrayal in trust, and that's what it is. This is a bit betrayal in trust, but I'll get to that in a minute. But going back, if you're the TV executive, you're being pitched this idea. My first question to these frat boys who have just come in after smoking dope and drinking a beer and saying, like, we got a great idea, man. I would look right at them and ask, what is this accomplishing? You know? What exactly does this accomplish? It's not entertaining. It's not funny. What exactly is it? This is basically an hour-long bullying campaign. That's all it is. There's no other way around it. Because the only show that I have done so far on Reality Sucks that I've liked is Bar Rescue. And the reason why I said Bar Rescue is a good show is because, and I quote, it does something. It's accomplishing a goal. There's a bar in trouble, financial debt, up to their eyeballs. John Taffer comes in, he fixes the problem, he redoes the entire bar, and it makes money. Mission accomplished. The show, Bar Rescue. Flip the words around. Rescue Bar. That's it. That's what it does. And it does it well. Even other reality shows, I don't know, I don't even know if it's still on, but there was a show right after Bar Rescue called Catch a Contractor with Adam Carolla, where they go to these people's houses who a contractor has built this really shoddy job of fixing their house, and they get a chance to confront the contractor that screwed up their house, and he comes back and redoes it. Again, the premise writes itself because it's actually accomplishing something. Even the cooking shows that they have, like hundreds of cooking shows, oh my god, they're still accomplishing something. It's not like they're doing this to make fun of people. There's a point to it. They want to be better chefs, or they want to get a job at a fancy restaurant. They want to showcase what they do. What does I Want to Marry Harry do? It lies. That's it. That's all it does. And one of the other things that I've said in the video, I said, put yourself in this position. So I'm going to do that. I want you to put yourself in a totally different scenario. I'm going to set this up. You are at a bar. Let's just say you're at a bar, and you meet somebody, and you really hit it off with them. Things are going great. You set up a date, an actual date where you go out from a bar, and you're with this person, you're hanging out with them, you find you have so much in common. You have the same interests, you have the same goals, everything just clicks, you're perfect. Everything's you're on cloud nine, you're on top of the world. And then after 12 weeks, roughly 4 months, this person says, I need to tell you something. And I think we've all been on the receiving end of that conversation. Whenever your significant other says, we need to talk, or I need to tell you something, it usually is not a good thing. Usually a bad thing. But assuming that you don't care about that kind of crap, they come to you and says, I need to tell you something. Like, we've had fun for 4 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks, or 4 months. Everything's going great, and I really like being with you and spending time with you, but I haven't been completely honest with you. Right there, conversation stops. Everything just halts right there. Because, like I said, a relationship, no matter what kind it is, friendship, romance, whatever, its foundation, its sole reason for being is trust. If you do not have trust, you have nothing. You have absolutely nothing. Even friends with benefits has to have a modicum of trust. Because if you don't have trust, you can't do anything. You're always going to be questioning the other person. You're always going to be questioning yourself. You gotta have trust in any type of relationship. So, pardon me. This person says, like, I am not who I say I am. Like, I'm trying to find a reason for. Okay, just a total, just a completely out there thought. But let's say this person is part of like the witness protection program or something, where he or she saw something. They were witness to a murder case, or they testified against some drug lord, and their lives might be in danger. So they're relocated somewhere, given a new identity, new life. They meet this person, and they want to be completely honest with them, and they tell them, like, I saw a murder, I testified, and there's a chance that the guy might come and find me. You want to tell that person that, because you don't want that kind of thing just popping up all of a sudden, where you're suddenly being chased by the G-men saying, like, we need to get you out of here now, and they're like, what is going on? Why are the men in black after you? And it's like, oh, by the way, I testified against a drug dealer, and now he wants to kill me and everybody I care about. Sorry. Yeah. That's what this whole show is about. It's a 4-month lie. And I assume it's 4 months because there's 12 women. I'm assuming every week they're going to get rid of one. And from what you see of this guy, this Matthew Hicks, I guess his name is, he doesn't seem like a malicious guy at all. But he's still receiving the money to be on this show, to manipulate these girls. He may not like it, but he's still getting the money for it. There's no other way around it. It would come to a point where halfway through the filming of this, he would say, like, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. I would have a little bit more respect for him. You know, like, he would breach his contract. He would be sued for millions of dollars. But you know what? You would at least walk away with your pride intact. Like, if he, 3 months into it, said, you know what, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do this to these women anymore. And he exposes the lie. And that's it, you know. Whoop-de-doo. Everybody loses money. And again, going back to what this is accomplishing, I'm sure the women that are involved in this, I'm sure they're going to get something out of it. Either money, or a lot of these women on these dating reality shows, and I never even thought about this at the time, but a lot of them use it as a stepping stone for something else. Even the Joe Millionaires and the Survivors and all that, they use this exposure to expand their 15 minutes of fame. because I think two of the survivors ended up in Playboy magazine, and they got paid millions for that. I think Joe Millionaire was involved with some other things besides that. He got exposure for that, and the women that were around him got exposure. So it can also be, a very profitable outlet, because these women might not have been able to get on TV any other way. Let's get on a dating show, and even if I win or lose, who cares? The people now see me. I'm going to overact as much as I possibly can and maybe get somebody's attention. I assume that's the only way I can see that happening. I don't know. Like I said, this show really annoyed me, and I know it sounded like I was goofing around on it, but looking back on this video, I could literally see it in my eyes. I was pissed, pissed that this was a show that got greenlit on television. And it really makes me sad. Because when I even said that I feel ashamed for our society, I meant every word of that. Because this is one of those shows that is no doubt on the crust of the bottom of the barrel. And I know there's worse shows out there. I know there are. And I will be doing them. Especially one in particular that everybody wants me to do. And you know which one it is. And I'm not going to say it because I'm like that. I don't want to reveal anything. But you probably already know what it is. But I've never felt the way I did about this show. And I don't know if I would have felt the same way had I watched an episode like midway through it. This was the very first show. And if I had watched it before or after that, or like after the initial first show, I don't know how else I would have felt. It would have been bad. But this was the very beginning. And oh my God. And even if people say like, oh, I like that show, I thought it was funny. No. Like, I can't even look at you and say, well, hey, we all like our own thing. No. I would look right at you and say, seriously, you watched that and you thought that was entertaining television. You need higher standards. Like I said in the video, you need higher, way higher standards. So that's my little mini rant about the follow up to I Want to Marry Harry. Not gonna watch it again. I'm not gonna give it a second chance. So get that right out of your head. For my next Reality Sucks, I want to do a show that it's going to be hard to do, but I want to find a show that doesn't annoy me as much. And there's a few out there that I don't watch, but I have seen clips of, and they haven't been terrible. So I might check it out. I definitely want to do stuff that does not... I know people love it when I get pissed. I know they do. And of course, that people like watching other people get pissed off about stuff. I do too. But I also don't want to be the guy that hates everything. I don't want to be that guy that is constantly bitching and griping about everything, because there are stuff out there that I do like. I think that's why I started doing the RABS segments, where I talk about stuff I do like and I'm passionate about. Because I like stuff. I just don't like reality shows. I forgot to mention this too, that when everybody started doing reality shows, because it's so much cheaper than paying actors millions of dollars every season, every year, under a guaranteed contract, when reality shows can be cranked out within months of themselves. The people that they're paying, they could get paid 5 figures and be happy. Like I said, this I Want to Marry Harry, I assume is going to be on for 12 weeks. That's 12 weeks of TV. That is so easy to do, so easy to produce. You're producing it for almost half of what a sitcom would be on a weekly basis. So right there, that's the reason why the market is so saturated with reality shows. It's because of the cost. It's a money thing. Of course it's a money thing. But I have to endure because for some reason, I've chosen to do this. And I really think I deserve money for this, but that's just the way I do it. So, again, I'm not sure what my next one's going to be. It's going to be something that doesn't bug me as much. I'm not sure what, but I guess that's the beauty of it. I don't know until I really sit down and glance through all of them and say, like, I can do that. So, 1. So, until next time, I'm GMC, and it's going to get loud. Trust me.